All righty. Check 1, 2.
Sounds
1,
good.
2, 3, 4.
Like it.
All right, we're doing 6 minutes, 45 seconds, and let's rock and roll.
Right on. All right, stand by. Ready? Hit the timer right at the same time.
All right, everybody. People are getting trained in here.
Okay, gotcha.
Are we recording? Yeah. All right, perfect. All right. 6 minutes, 45 seconds.
Roger that. Ready? Here we go.
All right, I got to say, everybody, every guest that we have on It's a Business Time is super, super special. However, every once in a while, we get the opportunity to not only interview a true legend, but more importantly, a person, a human being that has made a tremendous impact on our community, our state, our country, and the world as we know it. And honored to have in studio Frank Shankwits, one of the founders, thank you for correcting me earlier, of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Everybody is familiar with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Give us I know it's hard to do because I've heard you speak from the stage and telling the story, but a little bit of the synopsis of the formation of the Make-A-Wish Foundation and how did that come to be?
Yeah, number one, thank you for inviting me to the show, Mike. Even a great drive from Prescott coming down here. But in the mid-'70s, there was a television show called Chips that was very popular. And if you're laughing, you're showing your age because you know about the show.
Me and my buddy, we had matching Huffy bikes, okay? And we took turns who was Ponch and who was John.
But for the people who don't know, it was a NBC television show about two California Highway Patrol motorcycle officers, Ponch and John, and very popular with the age group from especially 7 to 14. And during that period, I was a motorcycle officer with the Arizona Highway Patrol. And we were a 10-man TAC team that worked the whole state of Arizona. We go in 2-man teams just like Ponch and John, the little towns around the state. All of a sudden the kids are yelling, "Hey Ponch, hey John," instead of, "Ooh, there's the police."
You look more like a John than a Ponch. I'm not lying.
Well, I could have been either. I was very tan at that time. So. But the Highway Patrol the commanders learned in 1980, April of 1980, now we just celebrated this 39th anniversary. They got a call from the hospital, St. Joe's Hospital, and they said, "We have a 7-year-old boy named Chris. Chris has terminal leukemia. Chris only has a couple weeks to live. Chris's heroes are Ponch and John from the television show Chips. And he always tells his mother, his nurses, when I grow up, I'm going to be a motorcycle officer just like Ponch and John." And they asked, is there anything the Highway Patrol can do to maybe just meet that boy or have him come to our headquarters if the doctors allow it, which we made happen. And I had no idea what to expect. I was one of the officers that was chosen to be the motorcycle officers that when the helicopter landed, because we picked him up in our state police helicopter in Scottsdale. He was there at the time, flew him to our headquarters building in Phoenix, and he asked me to be standing by with the motorcycle when the helicopter landed so he could meet. And we had trained initially with California Highway Patrol. Our equipment was identical to CHP. Our uniform was almost identical, except obviously ours said Arizona.
Right.
But when this helicopter landed, I had no idea what to expect. I had never met this little boy. I thought our paramedics were going to help him out. Helicopter lands, a little red pair of sneakers, jumps out of that helicopter, runs over to this motorcycle, just giggling, "Can I get on?" "Well, of course you can, Chris." He is just smiling and laughing. And I'm thinking, here's a 7-year-old boy who just came off IVs, and he knows he only has a couple weeks to live, which amazes me. But he is having so much fun. And he had watched Chips so much. Again, our equipment was identical. These are the red light button. Can I turn that? This is a siren. Can I do that? What's in your saddlebag? The same as Ponch. And I'm looking at his mother, and she's crying. And I couldn't figure that out. Then it dawned on me, she has her 7-year-old back. He is having so much fun.
Wow.
But Chris went on that day to become the first and only honorary Highway Patrol officer in the history of the Highway Patrol. We had a custom-made uniform made for him, his own badge that's still assigned to him today, a Smoky hat. But the biggest thing is he came up and he rubbed the motorcycle wings that we wear in our uniforms, and he said, and this is the first time I heard this word, he says, "I wish I could be a motorcycle officer like you and Ponch and John." And we just started teasing.
You're gonna
Chris
make me cry here.
Yeah,
man.
we
And
just
I
started.
mean, we're on video. This is. Oh my God.
We just started teasing Chris and explaining what we were doing. And we went to his house later on, and his mother had got for him, in place of a wheelchair, a little toy motorcycle. And I was saying, if only you had a motorcycle. Well, guess what? This kid comes in, runs in the house, comes out, riding on his motorcycle. We put him through his test. He earned his wings, and unfortunately, he died a couple days later. He was buried in a little town called Kewanee, Illinois. Our commanders asked if myself and my partner would go back and give him a full police funeral, which we did. Now, this is the day before internet or anything else.
And social media. And
Right. But the press is picking this up, and we were met in this little town of Kewanee by Illinois State Police, City Police, County Police that all helped us bury this little boy. He was buried in uniform. His grave marker reads, Chris Gracious, Arizona Trooper.
We are in studio with one of the founders of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits. An incredible story. In 30, 40 seconds, can you encapsulate just what his story meant to you personally?
Well, personally, and I was also on a fatal team, but as a highway patrol officer, I don't know how many investigations of deaths in car accidents and that. And especially when the children, I mean, you get used to people dying, but when it's a child, especially I have my own children about the same age, it's just so personal, so personal. So I wanted to do something special. And flying home to Arizona, I just started thinking, here's a boy who had a wish, and we made it happen. Why can't we do that for other children?
You know, it's amazing. Some of the greatest inventions come from just solving problems, and some of us we solve the problem so that we can make money, and some of us just find a problem out there, find a solution to solve it, and touch the lives of people. Again, we are in a studio with one of the founders of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits, who has a movie coming out on June 7th. Called, is it The Wishman Hero?
No, just Wish Man.
The Wishman. And so when we come back, we're going to talk about his movie. We're going to talk about his book coming up on its business time. We're going to send you the link and what to text when we come back. Up next.
So,
All right, that's what we call a terrible post, Quinn. I'm a little rusty on those posts. What?
Terrible post?
Oh yeah, my ending.
that was good. What are you talking
That go okay, Mike?
Oh my God, you're amazing.
all right.
I mean, you're amazing. You're carrying the show.
I'm trying to watch, the time, so that's why we're really condensing it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So, all right.
about? Segment one.
Or text me.
Don't forget to do the
Normalize.
You know how to work it.
More than the rest of us.
Yeah. Now Bronwyn over there, who you're not even a millennial. You're so young. No idea what Chips is and Ponch and John, huh? No.
Same here. I gotta admit it. I don't know.
Are you
They just had their 40th anniversary.
Says.
When it went on the air.
Heard it?
Yeah, that's.
No, I mean, it was a staple when I was growing up. It was Chips, Dukes of Hazzard,
Magnum PI.
Magnum PI, Dallas. I got in.
Yeah,
My parents
yeah.
wrote me out, and that was a good Friday night. And then, as I became a teenager, and then there was the temptation of, okay, all my friends and all the ladies are going to the Friday night high school football games. But then they rolled out Miami Vice.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
and we didn't have DVRs, so it's not like we could
Right.
record it.
You know what's fun about Chips is Larry Wilcox and Robert Pine are now very good friends. Robert Pine played Sergeant Grettir in Chips, and he's one of the lead actors in our movie.
Oh my God!
And then Larry Wilcox did a cameo for me. in the
Oh, I
movie.
can't wait to see the movie. I'm actually going to make my kids go. I had to go see their movies. I have to see the Avenger movies, no. All right. All right, so we're going to go 7 minutes.
7 minutes, yes, sir.
Yep.
Timer. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll.
All right, roll. Don't play that one. All right, here we go.
All right, I got so wrapped up in your story, Frank, that I didn't even give people an opportunity to text into the show to get more information. But if you missed the last segment, I honestly can tell you that is your loss. We are in studio with one of the founders, the co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, with Frank Shankwits, who is releasing, and he's not releasing, Hollywood is releasing.
Hollywood, yeah.
Hollywood has come to him a couple years ago and said, we want to, probably a lot longer than that.
5 years ago, Mike. 5 years ago.
5 years
yeah.
ago, and said they want to make a movie about your life. And it's called Wishman. Obviously, you are the Wishman. And I've just got to tell you, you and I, I'm totally going off script here. But you and I, we spoke at a conference in Dallas not too long ago.
Right, and also San Diego just last week.
In San Diego last week.
Yeah.
But Dallas, we had the young man who suffered from some sort of medical condition, went into surgery as a teenager, came out completely blind.
Right.
He had no idea you were going to be there. You had no idea he was going to be there. And he was a Wish kid. And,
Right.
and watching... It doesn't get old for you, does it?
No, and his name was Tim Connor, and it was a luncheon that we had for the speakers, as you mentioned, and he was there. And as he was talking, somebody mentioned my name, and he stopped, and he said, Frank Shankwits, one of the founders of Make-A-Wish? And yes, and got up there and just shook his hand and that. Now, the whole room was crying, including me. Such an emotional moment. And his wish when he went blind was, when he could, was to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa as a blind person, which he did.
I don't even want to climb my steps.
Exactly, exactly. I'm glad we have an elevator up here. But,
we are in studio with co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits. Movie coming out, Wishman, coming out on June 7th in select theaters nationwide. If you would like more information, we're not only going to give you the link to this movie where you can find information about the movie. We're going to also give you the link of where you can buy his book, Wishman, on Amazon. All you got to do is text the word Wishman to 411-923. That's Wishman to 411-923. Going to get you a link out. I'm really looking forward to the movie. Tell us a little bit about the movie and what part of your life does it cover. We could sit here for 3 hours.
oh, yeah.
And unfortunately we can't, but tell us a little bit about the movie.
And the movie is a period piece, 1950 to 1980, and it involves the people, because I had a very, I guess you could say, traumatic childhood, but I had so many mentors, father figures that always taught me that always turn the negative with the positive, never feel sorry for yourself, because we were very poor. The poor people were helping us out. We lived in Seligman, Arizona, up on old Route 66. So it covers that period of the people that helped me out from age 10 up until we created the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then the events as a motorcycle officer with Arizona Highway Patrol.
And you had a near fatal
well,
collision.
I did have a fatal
And
collision.
they resuscitated you.
Yeah, and they brought me back to life. And one of the key things on that, about this movie, was when going through counseling, they said, God spared you for a reason, now you have to find out that reason. And it was 2 years later that I was introduced to Chris. So just, I always say, divine intervention that led to meeting this little boy who was the inspiration to start this foundation.
We are in studio with the co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits. If you're interested in information on where you can find his movie that is coming up, being released on June 7th, called Wishman. Also, he's got a book out. Go ahead and text the word Wishman to 411-923. That's Wishman to 411-923. When I got back from Dallas, I was so moved and I was so inspired. So I was doing a training for my staff, and what I said, because it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, what you do for a living. Doesn't matter whether you're an hourly employee, the CEO of your own company. You can make a difference in the lives of people. The thing that moved me the most about your story was when your bosses got the call from Chris's family in the scenario that they picked you, that they automatically said, Frank's our guy, Frank's our ambassador. Have you ever given that any thought? And because that's what moves me the most.
I know, and I don't know why that happened. In fact, one of my fellow Academy classmates, Ron Cox, has suggested my name because he knew that when I was all over the state, we were working with the kids. We go into the grade schools on some off time and talk about bicycle safety, which kids could care less about. They just want to get on a motorcycle. It was a great PR. And because of his introduction to our commanders, and I'm way up in the Payson area when I get the call, and this is before cell phones. Find a payphone. We need some traffic for you. Get to Phoenix as quick as you can. And they coordinated it where when I'm pulling in a landing zone, the helicopter is coming in so Chris can see this motorcycle.
In studio with Frank Shankwits. Frank Shankwits, one of the founders, the co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Hollywood has done a movie called Wishman. It's coming out on June 7th in select theaters. If you'd like some more information, please text the word Wishman to 411-923. That's Wishman to 411-923. We're going to get some information out to you. What is that like when Hollywood comes and says, because what people don't know, and I know we got under a minute in this segment, what people don't realize is you've never taken a paycheck from the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh,
this is all about giving back. So what was that like when Hollywood came and said, we want to make a movie about you?
Well, at first I thought they were talking about a documentary, but when they first said, I said, no, you don't. And they said, yes, we do. And I thought talk about a documentary. But I said, no, a feature film that we want to do. And we want to also have you as the location scout, technical advisor, consulting producer. And I say location scout because I insisted the movie be made in Arizona. Arizona doesn't give tax credits anymore. And they wanted to film in New Mexico or Georgia or Missouri. And I lobbied and lobbied, in fact, got it to be filmed in Arizona.
All right, well, you can see it on June 7th. It's being released, Wishman, in theaters nationwide. However, we want to get you some information ahead of time on where you can see that. Go ahead and text the word Wishman to 411-923. Again, text the word Wishman to 411-923 in studio with Frank Shankwits from the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Frank, you have a nice camera.
Do what?
Yeah, you have a nice camera.
You know, I don't know if we have time to mention it.
We got 9 minutes now. One more.
Oh, okay.
So we got plenty of time.
There's a website, wishmanhero.com, and people can nominate their hero in their life.
Okay.
And if that hero gets selected, along with the person nominated them, they're going to be free admission to the red carpet premiere in Hollywood on June 4th.
All right, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And as founder of the Boys Burger Club, I am everybody's hero.
Mike, don't please. Don't go there.
Quinn, when are you coming to the Boys
Now, wait a
Burger
minute.
Club?
Burgers, come on. That's yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's creating
But it had to be
somebody's wish, right?
vegan burger.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he doesn't eat meat, remember?
I know. We have a couple of vegans, and we just don't wear a T-shirt and say, "Hey, I'm a vegan," because
I shun them.
yeah.
Don't do it.
I think the Indians describe vegan as a lousy hunter.
Or the Impossible burger.
What is that?
Old joke.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
I don't know.
Okay, I just got back turkey hunting, didn't get a turkey.
I don't know.
I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how are ya?
Great, how are you?
Good to see ya. Good to see ya.
Jason.
Hi, Frank.
Nice to meet you, Frank.
Go
If
ahead
you
and
guys
meet
don't
Mike.
mind, we're gonna move the chairs over there because we're doing a little video here. And speaking of burgers, what do you guys got there?
We got burgers.
Are you hungry, Frank?
Well, I haven't had lunch, but let's put it that way.
All right.
Hi,
Well,
Mom.
okay.
Wait, I'm just loitering. You guys can pop in over
There's
here.
an extra chair back here too.
All right. We got 9 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, where we at? Yeah.
Yep, 9-minute segment.
All right.
All right, we good. All right, stand by.
Now, I don't know about you. You have days that are great, and then all of a sudden, the day just gets greater. I am, I don't even know if that makes sense, but I am in studio with the co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits. It's been an honor and a privilege to spend the last few minutes with you. But after this segment, you and I are going to eat a cheeseburger together because we got our friends from Charred Burger here. And I'm just, that's like the culmination of all of my, like you are granting my wish right now.
Well, and that's worth the drive down from Prescott too for that. So.
Oh, you ever been to Charred Burger?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
you're in for a real treat. All right, so as we've been talking about, co-founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits, in studio, sharing a little bit about his story, his life, the formation the formation of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And based upon, people granting, or your organization granting wishes to mostly dying children or children
children with life-threatening illnesses. Yeah.
Okay. So, you have a movie coming out called Wish Man on June 7th in select theaters. If you text the word Make-A-Wish to 411-923, that's Make-A-Wish to not Make-A-Wish, what was I saying? Wish Man. Gosh, I'm so excited about this burger. Text the word Wish Man to 411-923. We are going to get you some information on where you can find Frank's book as well as the movie. But you guys are also rolling something out because the big release is going to be in Hollywood. We have possibly an opportunity for our listeners maybe to, I don't want to necessarily use the word win, but selected
to join the red carpet. Yes.
Yeah, some red carpet treatment with you. Tell us about wishmanhero.com.
Yeah, and my tagline for years, and it's tagline of the movie also, is everyone can be a hero. And if you go to wishmanhero.com, you can nominate a hero in your life. And the studio is going to choose 3 of those heroes that will be invited to attend the red carpet premiere on June 4th at the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood. But also the people that nominate those heroes will be invited to attend also. So you can walk the red carpet with me, but actually the stars of the movie.
Okay, well, tell us about the stars of the movie. And if you're interested in that, if you have a hero in your life that you want to nominate, text the word RED to 411-923. That's RED to 411-923, and you can nominate the hero in your life. And for those of you who are burger enthusiasts, you can nominate me as well. So tell us a little bit more about who's in the movie real quick.
It's a low-budget independent movie. I think our budget was about $4 million, which Hollywood said we can't do that, but we did. And the leading man and the character of me is in the mid-30s when I met Chris and got the idea to create the
makeup
foundation.
just wasn't going to do it this time around, right?
But a gentleman named Andrew Steele out of Australia, several productions in Australia. This is his first U.S. role. And he's probably the key person in the movie. And he worked a year and a half with me on this whole role. Number one, we had to get rid of the Australian accent and get kind of this little southwestern twang going. But
Olivia Newton-John's the only one in my life that's allowed to have an Australian accent.
But we had to send him to motorcycle training. He's not riding motorcycles. We went through motorcycle training. Then we sent him to a CHP office to learn police motorcycle training, completely different from civilian. And then weapons training. But this man worked so hard, and he just knocked it out of the ballpark. In October of 2018, even though we weren't in theaters, we were nominated for Best Inspirational Movie of 2018, along with the Best Inspirational Actor, and we won both awards, and we're not even in a movie yet. And he won that award for Best Inspirational Actor.
All right, if you'd like some more information about where Wishman is going to be released nationwide and is going to be released on June 7th, please text the word Wishman to 411-923. That's Wishman to 411-923. Obviously, the life story of the co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits, who's in studio with us. Obviously, what you did, and I know it's not just you. You had people in your life that partnered with you, participated in this. But you're the exception to the rule. I mean, what you did grew to an international organization where millions of people's lives have been touched. There are those of us that are working in cubicles, those of us who are coaching T-ball, those of us that are nurses and different walks of life. Touching lives is touching lives. It doesn't necessarily matter how big it gets. It doesn't matter whether you start an organization or not. But what is your message to us as business owners, entrepreneurs, hourly employees, coaches, nurses, and so forth about giving back? Because when I heard you speak, your message wasn't get involved in Make-A-Wish Foundation. Your message was get involved and make a difference in the lives of other human beings.
Yeah, in your community, give back. And I was taught as a very young boy, my mentor in Little Seligman, Arizona, said, Frank, when you can, give back, because so many people were helping me and my mother. The poor people were feeding us. And I said, what do you mean? I don't have any money. I don't have anything to do. And he said, you don't have to have money to give back. And he gave an example. Look at Mrs. Sanchez, the widow Sanchez. She's always helping you guys out. But look at her yard. Look at the porch. It's all, and you're big enough to go clean that yard, to go paint, sand, as a way to giving back and a thank you. And I just remembered that lesson my whole life. And especially in the business community, how to advance your brand by giving back. And nonprofits are so grateful when they get that check. And maybe a little article in a paper, a little splash, but do something really outstanding to advance that. An example is a realty company up in Prescott. A widow, her house again was in disarray. And I said, why don't you guys, you know every contractor in town, why don't you spend a weekend going over there raking, painting, fixing up this house, get it in tip-top shape. And the Phoenix media picked that up immediately. Now, how did they advance their brand by that? I mean, they got more advertised than they could ever get. Just an example of how to give back to the community. You don't have to have money. You can use your time.
A question that I never asked you is, when you had children, was there a point in time where you realized that what Dad does is just not automatically passed down to the kids, that you had to sit down and teach your kids that life is about giving back? Because I think your story for me right now is not so much for me as much as I want to make sure I raise my kids with that attitude of, you don't have to have money, you don't have to have all of these resources, but there are people who you can help.
And I try to set the example. I didn't lecture or anything. Sometimes I suggest. I never tell them they have to. I suggest you look at this.
Jedi mind trick them.
Yeah. But set by example. And now my daughters are grown daughters. They live in Ohio, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, so on. But they are giving back to the community by animal rescue. They get involved with Make-A-Wish. They get involved with other nonprofits, mainly giving their time.
All right, we are in studio with the co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits. If you would like some more information on how you can nominate a hero at wishmanhero.com, go ahead and text the word RED to 411-923. That's RED to 411-923. You got about 30 seconds. You're talking in front of a group of entrepreneurs. What's the one big piece of advice you give them?
Again, everyone can be a hero. Just help somebody out. There's so many. And again, you don't have to have money to do that. Just help somebody out.
All right, Wishman is going to be in theaters June 7th. Select theaters nationwide. If you'd like to find some information on how you can see the life story of co-founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwits, go ahead and text the word Wishman to 411-923. That's Wishman to 411-923. When we come back, we got Burger Talk with Winey. We are going to eat a burger from one of the best burger places in all of Phoenix. That's up next on It's Business Time.
Ta-da!
That was awesome.
That was fun.
That was so
That was
awesome.
fun.
Oh my gosh.
We'll just cancel our show today. Like that. I can't even follow that up.
Well, guys, can we share a burger with Frank?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Is there enough? Is there enough?
There's three. If we had a night, you guys could all share.
No, we'll just let Frank chow down on one.
All right.
We'll take some pictures of this.
Don't get too close on my smell.
Yeah, now I can put my hat on, right?
Oh, speaking of,
Oh, here, let's get this off.
I want to continue recording though.
no, you don't have to. Well, for a minute or two, and then, oh God, get that.
All right. One of these is a regular charred burger. One's a one with bacon, and this is the mac and cheese burger.
Okay, so one is a regular. Now, am I taking somebody's lunch here?
No, we're good right now. No.
Go ahead.
And maybe,
You want to?
Yeah.
Drop it, or you going to unplug it here?
yeah, let's, yeah. I'll have a bite with you.
It's good messy.
Does anyone need a drink? I'm running to the.
I've got some water here. Thank you.
So we have this Boys Burger Club thing. And so once a month, we have 1,350 people on this Facebook page. So once a month, we pick a place and then we pick a charity. So in June, we got Sharon's going to be coming to eat a burger with us, and we're going to benefit Child Health.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good.
I'm on your way. Okay, cool.
Oh my God, this is so good.
Mm-hmm. Now, where is this located?
We're in Tempe.
Where?
Tempe, near ASU.
Okay.
Called Shark Biscuit Dogs and Burgers. So we do a handful of burgers and
Oh, wait, how long you been there?
only since October. So it's fairly
Okay.
new. Yeah. Most of the fare is kind of loaded up.
Yeah.
Brisket hot dogs. And then the burgers have really taken off too, 'cause they have brisket in them too. So.
Checking that out real soon.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Well, so I had to, when we went, I had to double fist because I had to have a hot dog too. Because I mean, hot dogs are a true weakness of mine. And when I walked in, I'm like, I don't know what to get.
Are you from here? Are you from Arizona?
Well, not originally, but I've been here since '93.
Okay. And not many hot dog likers out in Arizona.
Where was home before that?
LA, Southern California.
Oh, yeah, that's right, you said that, yeah.
No, I had no. And then I got that last segment for you.
Yeah, I totally forgot which page we were on the last one.
Oh,
I was like struggling.
We may have the Arizona premiere.
That's what threw me off. I didn't know if it goes
Marketplace
1, 2, 3, and it starts
on
at
June
10.
6th.
I think it does.
They're trying to lock that in. I mean, if someone
No, it
walks
goes
in,
1,
they
2,
just
3, and
like
then
to
it
sign the
starts.
page.
I love it there.
Well, we'll promote it.
Good.
That's so exciting.
Mm-hmm. And then Prescott on June 7th, we're Prescott Film Festival.
It's not like that.
Doing that one on the 7th.
Did you ever do that with Diane?
Mike, is your show on our archives online, or is it
Well, it took a little.
just
Yeah.
okay?
Is
After-
that the recording part?
What?
Is that the recording part?
Yeah. So after we're done, after it airs Sunday, they'll load it on KTAR.com, and then Bronwyn will send you the link to it.
You guys, yeah.
And then we'll
probably
also send you
I
the-
think I probably introduced myself as a
We'll also
friend.
send you the
I don't know if
MP3 file as well.
Okay,
Did we
cool.
Did we ever get the MP3 files?
Did Luke
No, I
send
just
that out to you,
downloaded
Josh?
them.
I
And I
gotta-
just sent them.
Luke, he didn't send it out to you?
No, he loaded everything on KTAR.com.
Okay. But he didn't send you the,
Very good, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Real good.
Thanks for the work you do. This is amazing.
you got.
We didn't tell you he was going to be eating a burger of yours when you came in, did we?
Right. You get an endorsement?
Yeah, darn right.
No. And I took a picture.
But it's about a 2 napkin burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is that picture my kid took.
Oh.
We'll have you sign that when you get a chance.
Yeah.
I told Sharon, I said, yeah, I got your, I'm sitting in your seat right now.
This was
This is San Diego.
San Diego, yeah. We get so spoiled with Eric Swanson, we get so.
I know.
And you saw that in Dallas too, you had to nice big overstuffed shirt.
Let me get a
Did you
picture
see
of you
this?
too for,
How did you meet
can you get a picture of you two together?
Eric? How did you get hooked up with Eric? What?
Get a picture of you.
Yeah.
Hold the burger up.
I'll just pretend I'm eating this one.
Because
I gotta eat it during this segment. I'm gonna have 2 burgers.
Alright, good stuff.